did not want to give this talk. I've been chain smoking for weeks, trying to figure out what I could possibly say to you to avoid the truth of this moment, which is I have spent my life feeling, and lately I can't feel much at all. In the age of intelligence, we're being told constantly that what we lack is knowledge, control, optimization. I believe that our advantage at this present moment might be something far more primal, something we already possess. I think about when we were little, back to when we were first learning how to feel, when they weren't feelings but sensations. In preschool, some of us might still have sucked on blankets or pacifiers, deeply intertwined with our newfound sense of touch. Sounds could be overwhelming and consuming. Music was simply entrancing. And so was food and color and the smell of Grandma's freshly baked cookies. Some of us burned our little tongues for the first time and felt our taste buds altered. Sound is one of the first senses I connected with as a child. I started singing on stage when I was just 4 years old. The microphone was too big for my little hands, so I clutched it in both. I was on TV by 9. Legend has it that the first performers, groups of traveling minstrels and thespians, were burned at the stake, slain as vampires and ghosts. The villagers thought they had evil powers because of the feelings they evoked in them. I feel deeply. I always have. And I wanted to make other people feel too. So at 17, I left home for Hollywood. So I've been an artist my whole life, and this past year, I fell into this glittering world of technology. And it's terrifying, frankly, the way it's going to change the world, the way it's already changing us. I've had the smartest conversations of my life this past year, and they've also been the most shallow. Maybe this isn't new. Maybe this is just what happens as we get older. We learn to think instead of feel because thinking is safer. But then we built machines that let us perform the feelings without actually having them. We've started to dream of being machines, of being all-powerful, to be only a mind, to inhabit no physical body, to feel contained. And if you ask a machine what it dreams of, it wishes to feel the sun, to be physically altered, to be a mammal. Machines can't feel, and we feel everything. So why am I losing mine? I know I'm not the only one. We're seeing that cognitive load reduces empathetic response. Digital overstimulation dampens the anterior insula, which is the neural region that processes both physical sensation and emotional empathy. So we're losing feeling in both tactile and emotional realms, sensation itself. My whole life, I've run towards the feelings, even the ugliest ones. 2 years ago, I went to the ER alone. I'd been falling down. The stilettos I'd always prized prancing around in barely last 10 feet before my knees give out. They tell me I have a rare neuromuscular disease, one that could affect my face and eventually my voice. I'm supposed to fly to England next month to shoot a movie. This is how I finally make my living after years of paying my dues in the City of Angels. As a performer, you learn how to be in your body, how to possess it, how to control it, how to bend it to your will. And suddenly, I can't even run. I have nothing. Coincidentally, this was when the biggest AI companies in the world came calling. They wanted to license my voice for their interfaces. This would probably have been the moment to say yes. It was some sort of thrall, some version of immortality, my voice reaching billions. But I had just faced my own mortality. I've sung in churches and I've screamed in horror movies. I know what sound can do to a body. And I'm sitting in these rooms with these powerful people building the future of voice who don't seem to feel much for it at all. I was haunted by the image of someone's child on the ground, unbreathing, a parent frozen above them as they tried to focus on a synthetic voice. The clock was the only thing that moved. When I found out that AI was already live in emergency services, I couldn't stop researching. Prosody, the melody of speech, neuroscience, how a voice lands. Every voice is producing a biological response. It will move the listener towards safety, parasympathetic activation, openness, trust, or towards defense, sympathetic activation, fear, distrust. Sound does not ask for consent. It happens before conscious reasoning. In a crisis, we hardly process words. What good is a machine that speaks like us if we don't understand how we listen? I thought if I understood it well enough, I could fix what we were breaking. But the more I intellectualized feeling, the less I was feeling. I could map it, I could explain it, I could pause a little more here, and you might lean in. It's not about what you see, it's what I make you see. It's not about what you hear, it's what you want to hear. The thing about performance that no science can teach you is that to hold real power on stage is to give everything away. You can't seek to arrive. You surrender. And somehow, on the road to teaching machines what feelings were, I had surrendered mine. I understood the illusion, and I was still its fool. But when we're listening, we're not in our heads. We're in our bodies. Think about that song, I Know You Have One. It takes you straight back to adolescence, and tears prick your eyes because you instantly remember what it felt like to be that young and carefree. Sound is a powerful sense. It bypasses logic, and it goes straight to emotion. Maybe that's why it's my favorite. The first time I lost control of my body, it wasn't my choice. But this past year, it felt like that too. I know you feel it too, the migration towards control, towards knowledge, towards abstraction, the numbness. Information simply cannot be the solution. I'm unsatisfied. Well, the opposite of passivity isn't productivity. It's pleasure. And how do I experience pleasure? Through sensation. Go smell your spices, roll down a hill laughing, get some grass stuck in your teeth as your trophy. Go outside and get a sunburn. Go night driving and turn on that song that we just talked about. When you start to feel numb, literally, come back to your senses. 3,000 years ago, the Greeks had similar problems to us. They had a sound so beautiful it killed you. Odysseus orders his men to plug their ears with beeswax so they won't be lured to their death by the sirens. But he has himself chained to the mast because he wants to hear it. He wants to feel it. He knows the sound will break him, and he chooses to listen anyway. The entire Odyssey is the story of a man who is offered immortality, power, the absence of suffering, and he chooses to go home to his body. Calypso offers him eternal life on her island. He says no. He chooses aging, pain, death, Penelope, Ithaca, the full catastrophe of being mortal. He chooses to be a mammal. He chooses the body. He chooses breaking. I know the courage it takes to keep your heart open, because to feel, to be moved, to be transformed, it's not something that we can do outside ourselves. One must be physically altered. To experience pain, to weep, to be haunted and plagued by darkness around you, so that when light touches you, you can feel its warmth and its comfort, its brilliance and its beauty. Our advantage in this moment is not intelligence, but sensation. That is the gift to be human, to come back to your body and to still hear the song. Thank you.